So what is a set? Well, basically a set is defined to be a collection of things or objects that are referred to as the elements of the set. Okay, so if you have a collection of things, suppose you have a collection of books in a library. We have a collection of, let's say, the letter A. We have the dollar sign. We have the exclamation mark. We have a smiley face. And we have, let's say, a car. That's a very nice car. Okay, so if we have a collection of things, this is a collection of things, then that is a set. As simple as that. Regardless of being numbers or a mathematical symbol or mathematical concepts, if you have a collection of things or objects, then those are called, or that is called, a set. Okay? The things that are, or the objects that are in a set are called elements. Okay, so these things that we have, all these are called elements. So these two are elements. This is an element, that's an element, and that is an element. So these are all called elements of a set. Okay, so A is an element of a set, or of this set. The dollar sign is an element of this set. The exclamation mark is an element of this set, and so forth. But randomly, we don't just put things like that together and just call them set. There has to be a way, there has to be a mathematical way in order to represent sets. In other words, there has to be a notation for set. Okay, and actually there is. Okay, so basically if you want to represent a set, or if you want to write a set in a mathematical way, or the mathematical notation for sets in this way. So basically the first thing you do is you write the name of the set, and then an equal sign, and then you have brackets, and then you list whatever you have in the set. You list the elements of the set. So for example, right here I have A, I have the dollar sign, I have an exclamation mark, I have a smiley face, and I have a car. This is what I have in this set. Do you see? This is a very informal way of writing the set, or of representing the set. This is a mathematical way of representing a set. Okay, so this thing that we have right here, this letter A, this is called the name of a set. Okay, this is an equal sign, you know this. These brackets that we have right here, these are set brackets. Okay, or they are called braces. Set brackets or braces. They have to be like that. They have to be like that. Okay, not like this, not like that. These are not acceptable. These are not set brackets. This is a set bracket. Okay, so something like that. Okay, so these are called set brackets, and as you can see we have the elements. So these are the elements, and they are separated by commas. Okay, so in order for you to represent a set in a mathematical way, first of all you have to name it. Okay, and you can name it whatever you want. You can name it John, you can name it, let's say, Tim. But usually the way mathematicians, or in mathematics, sets are named, they are named by capital letters. So you can have A, you can have B, you can have C, and so forth. But elements inside a set, they are represented, if they are letters, they are represented by small letters, as you can see. Okay, so this is the name of a set. These are the elements that you have. They are separated by commas, and they are enclosed by set brackets or braces. Okay, if you want to indicate that you have infinitely many elements inside your set, basically instead of closing it like that, this is what you do. Okay, so suppose A equals to small letter A, the dollar sign, the exclamation mark, and you want to say that I have infinitely many terms or many elements in this set. Well, you put 3 dots and then you close your set. Okay, these 3 dots are called ellipses. Okay, so let's write that. These 3 dots, let's do it right here, they are called ellipses. Okay, and basically the way you read it is you say and so on. So in this set of A, I have A, dollar sign, exclamation mark, and so on. And instead of saying and so on, you put the ellipses or these 3 dots, meaning you continue forever and ever. Okay, so either you write your sets like that or you write them like that if you want to indicate you have infinitely many terms, objects, or things. Okay, so that is the definition of a set. A set is a collection of things or objects that are referred to as the elements of the set. This is the notation of a set, and these are the different components of the notation of a set. You have the name of the set, you have the set brackets or braces, you have ellipses, you have commas that separate what? Well, they separate the elements of a set. Okay, so let me delete all this and let me show you how we can show that something, an object, or a thing is an element of a set. Okay, so what is the notation of being an element of? Well, the symbol of is like this, like an E, but the edge of it is rounded. Okay, so suppose I have this set A equaling to, so A has these elements. It has the letter B, it has the number 1, it has 0, and it has, let's say, a sad face. This set, it has these objects in it. How can I mathematically say that an element is in this set? Well, if I want to say that B is in A, or if I want to say that 1 is in the set of A, okay, that's a lot of words. But mathematically, the way you do it is you just write 1, and then you write that symbol, an element of A. 1 is an element of A. Okay? If I want to say that 0 is an element of A, well, 0 is an element of A. Okay? The sad face is an element of A. Okay, so do you see? The sad face is an element of A. All these letters and words, okay, you can compress them into 3 symbols. The sad face, well, this is the sad face, is an element, well, is an element of, okay, A. You can represent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can represent 7 words and 1 letter into 3 symbols. Very, very easy. Okay, so this symbol that we have right here, this is a symbol of an element of, and you use it in order to show that an element or a thing or an object is an element of a set. If you want to show that something is not an element of a set, well, you're just going to put a line on it. So if I want to say that the letter C, as you can see, C is not in this set. C is not an element of A. That is basically what I write. Okay? If I want to say that, so suppose I change this into 7. 7 is not an element of A. Okay? That's how I can represent that something is not an element of a set. By having the symbol of being an element of and then having a line on it, that means that thing is not an element of the set. So that is about the definition of a set, that is about elements, and that is about the symbol of being an element of. Let's go to the next lecture and let's study some other related topics to sets.